Hello, my name's Nick Herriman and I've got 3 minutes to explain to you how an anthropologist might describe human rights. Okay, firstly I'm going to give you a background, then I'm going to give you a definition, then I'll provide some application and then discuss the relevance. So background, definition, application, relevance. Background. In 1947 the UN said all humans have a rights to life, liberty, security, law, trial, asylum, these kinds of things. What is the definition of these rights? We call them human rights. These are a different kind of right. Prior to this, most rights, at least in the Western tradition, were thought of as something that you develop out of an arrangement or a contract. I say I'll give you apples, you say I'll give me $50. You've got right to apples, I've got rights to $50. However, with human rights, the idea is that you have a right not through a contract or arrangement, but merely by dint, merely because you are a human, you were born a human. Okay, so this is a new kind of right. There are two sort of problems with the application, or two issues with the application as far as anthropologists are concerned. Firstly is the idea of universalism versus relativism. We tend as anthropologists to think of, to approach cultures from a relativist perspective. What that means is that we don't judge whether it's wrong, for example, for a woman to jump on her husband's funeral fire. We don't judge whether it's right or wrong, we just try and understand it. Now what human rights insists is there are some things that are universally right and some things that are universally wrong. This contradicts, superficially at least, with anthropology, so it does present a challenge for anthropologists. Now the other question for application with anthropologists is probably for me more interesting and more productive, and that's looking at how the idea has been taken up in local contexts. I'm going to give you two examples of how human rights have been taken up in local contexts. One is from my colleague, Jack Taylor, writing about Vanuatu. As he explains, in Vanuatu, there are men who are concerned with the spread of human rights in Vanuatu. They see these as being used by women to empower women and disempower men. According to a Vanuatu way of looking at the world, you and I and everybody is related. You can't have more rights without it affecting me having less rights. So they started up an organisation opposing human rights. Where I do fieldwork in Vanuatu, people see human rights as, Vanuatu is Far East Java by the way, people see human rights as things which stop the police from doing their job or stop the courts from doing their jobs. So if the police arrest my friend and we all go and free my friend from the police station, that's an example of human rights. It's a different understanding. Okay, so basically what we're talking about is a Western concept that's been taken up in different contexts, local contexts in different ways, and that's how an anthropologist will approach human rights.